Hello, this is First Chapter Wednesday. One of our first books that we have is from April Henry, and it's called The Girl Who Was Supposed to Die. All right. Chapter 1, Day 1, 4:51 p.m. I wake up, but wake up isn't quite right. That implies sleeping, a bed, a pillow. I come to. Instead of a pillow, my right cheek is pressed against something hard, rough, and gritty, a worn wood floor. My mouth tastes like old pennies, blood. With my eyes still closed, I gently touch my teeth with my tongue. One of them feels loose. The inside of my mouth is shredded and sore. My head aches, and there's a faint buzzing in one ear. And something is wrong with my left hand. The tips of my pinky and ring finger throb with every beat of my heart. The pain is sharp and red. Two men are talking, their voices a low murmur. Something about no one coming for me. Something about it's too late. I decide to keep my eyes closed, not to move. I'm not sure I could anyway. It's not only my tooth that feels wrong. Footsteps move closer to me. A shoe kicks me in the ribs, not very hard, more like a nudge. Still, I don't allow myself to react. Through slitted eyes, I see two pairs of men's shoes, one pair of brown boots and one pair of red-brown dress shoes that shade to black on the toes. A distant part of me thinks the color is called ox blood. She doesn't know anything, a man says. He doesn't sound angry or even upset. It's a simple statement of fact. I realize he's right. I don't know anything. What's wrong with me? Where am I? Who they are? And when I try to think about who I am, what I get is nothing. A big gray hole. All I know for sure is that I must be in trouble. I need to get back to Portland and follow our leads there, the other man says. You need to take care of things here. Take her out back and finish her off. But she's just a kid, the first man says. His tone is not quite so neutral now. A kid? The second man voice hardens. If she talks to the cops, she could get us both sent to death row. It's either her or us. It's that simple. His footsteps move away from me. Call me when you're done. The other man nudges me with his foot again, a little harder this time. Behind me, I hear a door open and close. Come on, get up. With a sigh, he leans over and grabs me under my arms. Grunting, he hauls me up from behind. His breath smells bitter, like coffee. I try to keep my body limp, but when my left hand brushes the floor, the pain in my fingers is an electric shock. My legs stiffen and he pulls me to my feet. That's right, he says, nudging me forward while still holding me up. We're going to take a little walk. Since he already knows that I'm conscious, I figure I can open my eyes halfway. We're in what looks like a cabin with knotty pine walls and a black wood burning stove. Yellow stuffing spills from sliced cushions on an old ply couch and a green high-backed chair. Books lie splayed below an empty bookcase. Someone was obviously looking for something, but I don't know what, and I don't know if they found it. Past the red and white checkered curtains lie nothing but fir trees. When the guy's arm clamped around my shoulders, I stumbled past a table with 4 wood chairs. One of them is turned away from the table. Ropes loosely encircled the arms. A pair of bloody pliers sits on the table next to what seems like 2 silver-white chips, mostly painted pink. I look down on my limp left hand. Pink polish on 3 of the nails. The tips of the last 2 fingers are wet and red where nails used to be. I think I know where I was before I ended up on the floor. I keep every step small and shuffling so that he's half carrying me. It's not easy because he's not much bigger than me, maybe 5'9". The guy mutters under his breath, but that's all. Maybe he doesn't want to get to where we are going any more than I do. The back door is about 20 feet away. Outside, a car starts up and then drives away. The only other sounds are the wind in the trees outside, the man grunting every now and then as he tries to make my body walk in a straight line. Wherever we are, I think we're alone. It's just me and this guy. And once he manages to get me out the door, he'll follow instructions. He'll finish me off. Kill me. All right, so that is chapter 1 from April Henry, The Girl Who Was Supposed to Die. If you're interested in that book, you can check that out at the library. I also have a copy of it in my classroom as well. One thing I want to talk about is that good readers always look for things when they're reading that they could talk about later on. And I just noticed this first chapter. I use a Post-it note, and I usually keep them in the back of my book. I just have like 4 or 5 of them that I can just reference. And I just felt like on page 3, April Henry does a fantastic job describing this girl, what she's seen like in this cabin or house, and that her fingernails, she had 2 of her fingernails peeled right off with a pair of pliers, that they were obviously like torturing her or holding her hostage. And I feel like she does a really good job, very descriptive, and creates that scene that's very tense, and that the character is afraid and she doesn't quite know what's going on. So I just made a note on my Post-it note. I put the date, I put the page number, and I'm just kind of looking for things that stick out that I could talk about with the book. So it could be like a powerful line or passage. It could be a turning point in the story. It might be the message. So as you read your books, try to find a place. When you get done reading, just take a Post-it note really quickly and find a spot where you think that might be kind of important that you could talk about with somebody else later down the road. So again, if you're interested in this book, it is from April Henry, The Girl Who Was Supposed to Die.